Imagine you're hiking through a dense forest and out of nowhere, a towering figure appears. Antlers stretching wide, eyes sharp as a hawk's and a body built like a freight train. You freeze? Is it an elk? Or a moose? The two animals are giants of the North American wilderness, yet so many of us can't tell them apart. By the end of this video, you'll be the expert who can spot the difference in a heartbeat. Trust me, your knowledge of elk versus moose will soon make you the go-to wildlife expert on your next hike or camping trip. First things first, let's talk size. If you're looking at what seems like a living mountain with legs, chances are it's a moose. Moose are the heavyweight champions of the deer family, and they dwarf just about every other land animal in the northern hemisphere. On average, male moose, or bulls as they're called, can weigh up to 1,500 pounds. That's heavier than a grand piano, and they stand around 6 to 7 feet tall at the shoulder. Add the antlers to that height, and you've got a creature that's probably staring over your head with ease. Now, elk are no small fry either. A bull elk can reach a solid 700 to 1,000 pounds, about the weight of a motorcycle. They're also tall, standing around 4 to 5 feet at the shoulder. Impressive? Definitely. Intimidating? Probably. But still, a moose would make an elk look like it needs to hit the gym. Okay, so you're standing face to face with one of these giants. Here's a trick. Check out the shape of the antlers. Moose antlers are unique. They're massive and flat, almost like two giant broad hands reaching out to the sides. Scientists call this palmate, meaning shaped like a palm. This design isn't just for show. Those broad antlers help moose to clear thick brush and defend themselves against predators. Plus, let's be honest, they look ridiculously cool. Elk, on the other hand, have what's called tined antlers. These grow upward and are pointier, like long forks reaching for the sky. It's an elegant design, almost regal and perfect for fighting off rivals during mating season. Think of them like spears in the animal kingdom. The antlers branch out in long, slender beams with multiple points or tines along the way. So, if the antlers look like a weapon fit for medieval times, it's probably an elk. Now, let's zoom in on the face. Moose are known for their iconic, oddly shaped faces, with long, drooping noses that make them look like they're always deep in thought. Their noses are massive, and even have a flap of skin hanging down, called a bell. No one's really sure why moose have bells. Some say it's for cooling off, while others think it's just a unique decoration, like nature's own quirky little necktie. Elk faces, on the other hand, are much narrower and sleeker. They're the runway models of the deer world. Where a moose looks a bit like a beefy philosopher pondering the meaning of life, an elk looks alert, lean, and ready for action. They have a sharper, more streamlined snout, which gives them a refined, almost aristocratic look. All right, so you've got the face and antlers figured out? Now, let's talk about sound. You might think both animals are the silent, strong types, but in reality, they're quite the talkers. Moose make this eerie, haunting sound, called a bellow. It's deep, it's loud, and it sounds like a foghorn echoing through the forest. A moose's bellow is designed to reach far and wide, alerting potential mates or rivals that there's a moose in town, and he's not messing around. Elk, however, have their own signature sound that's equally iconic, the bugle. Picture this, a high-pitched wail that starts soft and then escalates into a powerful screech. It's the kind of sound you'd expect from an alien encounter, not a giant deer. During mating season, these bugles fill the air as bull elk compete for the attention of females. This bugle is like a calling card, signaling power and stamina. When you hear it, you know you're in elk country. But it's not just their voices that separate them. Let's talk diet and eating habits, because these two may look similar, but they dine in very different ways. Moose are solitary grazers, preferring to eat alone, especially since they have a massive appetite. And when it comes to food, Moose are the buffet champions. They'll chomp down on leaves, twigs, and even water plants. Moose are known for their love of aquatic plants, so if you see an animal standing in a lake, snacking away like it's an all-you-can-eat salad bar, it's almost definitely a moose. They're even known to dunk their heads underwater to get to those tasty greens. Elk, on the other hand, are more of the social diners. They're known to move in herds, especially in the winter, and they prefer open grasslands and fields, where they can graze on grasses, shrubs, and other ground-level plants. They're a bit more delicate with their diet, opting for tender shoots and soft grasses. So, if you see a group of animals chowing down in a meadow, it's likely a herd of elk. Another fun fact? Moose are incredibly strong swimmers. They're so good at it that they'll cross large rivers and even swim miles to find food. Moose have been spotted diving over 15 feet underwater. Elk, meanwhile, are more of the running type. They're fast and agile, reaching speeds up to 35 miles per hour, which helps them outrun predators. They're the marathoners of the animal kingdom, while moose are more like heavyweight swimmers. Now, where exactly can you find these magnificent creatures? Well, if you're looking for moose, head to northern forests, where they thrive in colder climates with plenty of lakes and rivers. You'll find them in places like Alaska, Canada, and northern states like Maine and Minnesota. Moose love solitude, so you're more likely to see them on their own, or with their calves. Elk, on the other hand, enjoy a slightly warmer climate. They prefer open landscapes, like grasslands and mountain valleys, and they're far more social than moose. You'll find them in herds in places like the Rocky Mountains, Yellowstone National Park, and regions across the western United States. They're also adaptable, so elk herds have spread into areas beyond their traditional range. Finally, let's get down to personality. Yes, personality. Moose are known to be solitary and a bit grumpy. They can be unpredictable and will charge if they feel threatened, especially during the mating season. A moose on a mission is not something you want to mess with. So admire from a distance and give them their space. Elk, in contrast, are more social and less aggressive toward humans, though there's certainly no pushovers. During mating season, bull elk are highly competitive, and they're not afraid to use those massive antlers in battle. But in general, they're more tolerant of humans. Which is why you're more likely to see elk near hiking trails and even wandering around campgrounds. So, next time you spot a massive creature with antlers, take a closer look. Are the antlers flat and palm-like, or tall and spear-like? Is it towering over you with a droopy nose, or standing proud with a sharp, narrow face? Does it prefer solitude, or is it hanging out with friends in an open field? These little clues will tell you if you're in the presence of a mighty moose or a majestic elk.